Hey everyone, Adam Perry here with TrueDFS, and I'm going to go over today's 3-game NHL DFS slate. It's not much, but at least we've got the Winter Classic. That's kind of going to be the solo, quote-unquote, early game. It starts at 7 Central, so a little later than normal, and then we got the 2 late-night hammers, and we'll see what we get to. But for now, don't forget, just like and subscribe because it helps us out, and check out TrueDFS.com. Because you can get access to everything I use here, the projections, SaberSim, all that for not much more than you'd pay for SaberSim alone. You get the pay dirt model too for DFS and for prop betting that's gone really well. So there's a lot on offer. It's like 3 sites in one, and it's only $20 more than you'd pay a la carte. So I highly recommend it. But let's get into it. We'll do our normal process, which is like looking at the projections and where they bunch up to see where we think the chalk's going to lie. And we've just done a hand build. And you can say, well, you're going to use SaberSim anyway. Why do you hand build a lineup if you're not going to use that lineup? And it's done a couple things for us. For one, we've got an idea of where the chalk's going to be when we look at these value plays that are bunching up here as top plays on the same team. And the other thing is it's helped us have to look at the lines. It's helped us have to look at the shift charts and these things and get an idea for who's on what lines and who's actually playing with who and standing out and that's not in the projections, right? Because the projections project a line, but someone could be playing half their time on one line and then the line's getting jumbled, or somebody like Alex Ovechkin who gets double power play time when the rest of the players don't. So there's those kind of ins and outs of quote unquote no puck knowledge, like no ball knowledge. So that's been helping us do that. So if we want to play around with that today, it looks like Minnesota and Florida really standing out. So we'll build lineups with Minnesota and Florida. See what we could do. So we'll take a look at the lines. You've got Kaprizov, Yurov, Zuccarello, Johansson, Eriksson, Ek, Boldy. Now the power play has kind of 2 from each line. So I don't know that the power play is going to be the best way to do it. We're going to see where the pricing goes too. So you got Kaprizov and Boldy on different lines, but both on the power play. You could throw in Zuccarello, who's cheap. Quinn Hughes still too cheap at 7,200, I contend. And Joel Eriksson, Ek. Now let's see if there's a goalie who stands out. Shesterkin for the Rangers in the Winter Classic, looking like our best value play at goalie. So you could do like Minnesota power play, although it's pricey. So we might want to see like if we do Boldy, Ek, or Kaprizov, Zuccarello, and Yurov, and then maybe we take out an Ek or an Ek and a Boldy. Something like this makes sense. Let's see if there's any good point per dollar plays that correlate, like defensemen. What's up, Chris? Minnesota heavy, Vancouver my low. Yeah, I think that's the way the portfolio manager is going to do it for me too. But we'll find out in a minute. You get Spurgeon in there. If you want to onslaught them. You've got quite a bit per man. You can correlate some Rangers if you want. You can get like a Micah or Panarin. Or Micah and Panarin. No, you can't quite do that. Now, you could get Cooley, who's also on power play 1. Then you get a 3,500 center, and you see what you could do with some Minnesota. You don't have to play it that way, but just some ideas. Now let's take a look at Florida lines. I think Florida lines, Demko is the highest one. Yeah, but that makes sense with portfolio manager, Chris. I think it does that a lot, where you'll get someone against your goalie and then also get the goalie. And it's that kind of hedge within your portfolio thing that it's doing. It doesn't happen all the time, but it seems to happen quite a bit. It makes some sense to me too. Demko, good goalie, but you're saying Demko's playing against Seattle. So it's not really that much of a hedge unless you had a lot of Seattle. Oh, Vancouver, your lowest stack, but Demko, your highest goalie. Yeah, it makes sense. It probably thinks, who knows? Let's see what I get to using Goldie's projections. We could see Florida too. I think Florida is spread across 3 lines on the power play. Reinhart, Bennett Marchand, and Samoskevich. So it's a little hard to do power play for Florida too, but let's see what guys stick out for value. I'm going to be setting up Sims for the $5. It's not what I'm going to be playing. I want to really think about my contest selection too now, given the new tax stuff. So I'm definitely going to be playing lower amounts, and I don't know. I got to make sure I have like at least a 10% ROI, right? Because of the taxes. I think you break even at like 3.5% ROI. Bennett, Reinhart, Marchand. Yeah, I mean, all the power play guys standing out for Florida, but they don't correlate well. Bennett, Marchand do. You could throw like a Reinhart, and you could throw in like a Verhaeghe, but Verhaeghe's not that cheap. Let's see if you do the power play, what you can get. Skevich. We could do Demko instead of Shesterkin. Yeah, I mean, the price is right, $7,200 for a favored goalie. I guess that's part of it, Chris. Good goalie, too, in real life. But I guess that's part of it. Is like, even if you're going to have Vancouver, either because of ownership or like the projection's not that great, it's still a favored goalie at $7,200. Just seems like a misprice. If we correlated, who's our best Vancouver guy? Elias Pettersson kind of standing out. Pettersson's projection's been wonky in SaberSim, though. He just loves him. Is there any D guy? You can correlate DeBrusk. No, you can't. You can't get DeBrusk. So there's not like that much you could do with Florida, but they're going to project pretty damn well. How far in ours do we have Shesterkin from everyone else? I mean, he's not that high, much higher than Grubauer. 20 value score to 18. There's a little bit of a mix-up right now because some places have Decor projected, some have Grubauer. I think it's going to be Decor was supposed to be last night and then didn't play, right? So I imagine it's Decor. We'll see. We'll see. Watch out for that because we don't have goalie confirmations yet. Hopefully we'll get some like late afternoon skates or some info from Vancouver and Seattle, but we don't have it as of yet. Let's go ahead and build using goalie stuff. And then let's correct the goalie thing. Regardless of who's playing, we only want one of them. So let's go that way. Oh, no. I don't want to do that. I want 0. Okay. Let's say it's Decord. Certainly not going to be both. Okay, cool. I switched to Goldie's ownership. It doesn't make a difference because the builder doesn't use ownership when it builds lineups. It uses them in the contest sims. SaberScore would, but we're not going to use SaberScore. It's an old, somewhat antiquated way of doing things. Kind of thinking about it like Saros last night, except I didn't play last night. Could be conceded after. What did Nashville do last night? Saros is another one, a good goalie and not the greatest team. Oh, wow. Already 2 goals in that game. Although I guess it's the end of the first quarter period. It's a quarter. Shows where my mind's at. Saros? Oh, Saros last night. Yeah. Against Seattle. Got beat. Huh. Yeah, good goalie against the Kraken. We'll see what happens. Let's see how much Demko we get in SaberSim. I'm going to build, let's see, the $5. It's 150 max, I think. Let's find out. 142 max. Okay. So let's build a portfolio of 142 for the poke check. People always ask me to sim the poke check. So I'm just going to do it without being asked. To diversify. Now we've got to run the sims because this is diversifying by saber score. We don't want that. I mean, personally, I'd be a bit concerned about playing the poke check, especially with the new tax stuff. It's not that top heavy. So you're going to be trading against the rake with people. Kind of like some of those. It's top heavy, but it's not as top heavy as the flagship. I'm just concerned that the ROI doesn't average enough to beat the 90-10 thing. You know, some people aren't worried about it. They've, talked to an accountant, but I'm still concerned personally. So let's see. Sims run. Okay. Let's take a look at where we got the most. Let's look at stacks first. Yeah, a whole lot of Vancouver. So you're saying lowest don't stack. I got a ton of Vancouver. Ton of Minnesota. Equal Vancouver and Minnesota, despite Minnesota's higher total. I guess it's just a price thing. And then you get the Florida in there. Seattle, Anaheim. Let's see if Now, interestingly enough, my onslaughts are not Vancouver, really. I don't have a lot of that. In my four-mans, I have a decent amount, but a lot of Vancouver filler. A lot of Vancouver filler stacks tonight. The two-mans and the three-man variety. A huge percentage of my 4-3s are with Vancouver in it. Let's take a look at players and then goalie. Pretty spread out, but Bennett my highest owned despite not getting a lot of Florida stacks. So I've got some Bennett one-offs in there. And then Elias Pettersson. Saberson's 2 points higher than Goldie on Pettersson. I told you Saberson, there's a few guys Saberson just loves. Swayman, Pettersson. Look at those. Kaprizov, Hughes. McTavish getting in there despite not a lot of Anaheim. Let's see goalie. Yeah, Igor then Demko. So I don't know. I'm a little different than you, Chris. I do have a lot of Demko, but still mostly Igor using Goldie stuff. And then using Goldie stuff, I've got a lot of Vancouver, which you said you didn't get to. Vancouver filler stacks are just getting me everywhere. I guess that's getting me. Like if I look at the Vancouver stacks, it gets me a lot of those Minnesotas. These are spread out, just onslaughts with Vancouver, Minnesotas with Vancouver, some Florida with Vancouver. So I am getting to the Vancouver. I'm getting to Shesterkin as my highest owned goalie. My highest owned players are, let's take this off. My highest owned skaters are Sam Bennett and Elias Pettersson. My highest owned goalie is Shesterkin. Got a healthy amount of the Minnesota guys, Kaprizov, Quinn Hughes. Then McTavish kind of getting in here is a nice play. So that's where I'm at the early going. It's going to be a small slate. It's going to be a tough slate. I still kept it on 4-3 only. I think when we look back at smaller slates, we still see that those grade out by far the best. I want my pool populated with them and not with a lot of junk stacks that aren't going to grade well. I only get 5,000. 5,000 is not a lot of lineups, even on a 3-game slate. So as many highly correlated lineups as I can get. But there you have it. That's what I'm doing as of right now on today's slate. Don't forget, like and subscribe. It helps us out. Check out TrueDFS.com. You can get access to Sheets' projections, Goldie's projections, the premium Discord, the pay dirt model for DFS and for betting. That's been doing really good on prop betting. We used it a lot last year. I think James has the results in his Discord posted, he said. And so I know he's real proud of that. And and we're proud to have it and offer it. And it's like $20 more than you pay for SaberSim alone. So I know I've given my pitch once. I'll give it again. Check out a trial. Come join us. It's really a great deal. And it's a lot better than paying for these things a la carte. So with that, I wish you good luck on tonight's slate. Let's go.